How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, it's one of them videos, my royal family. You really need to go get your shit. This gonna be real juicy. Oh, real juicy and long. Oh, yeah. Now, this is Karen. And, Karen and her man, a few days ago, was about that life. But now, since the world see what they really about, let's go over here real quick. Karen then pulled a Becky. Them damn Becky tears. Oh yeah, we'll come back here a little bit, my royal family. But what I'm about to deliver, my royal family, is juicy, juicy, juicy. Oh, oh, so sweet to me. So lean all up in it with your shit. I got 3 videos to show y'all. And the last one is the juiciest. So Karen pulls a Becky. The Becky tears. Let's not lose sight. She's about that life. Now all of a sudden she's in fear for her life. Let's do a recap. Let's get into this first one over here.
Well, she's been seen on video all around the world, pulling her gun on a black woman with 2 of her daughters at her side.
Now, despite the felony assault charges the couple is facing, she is now speaking out, trying to explain why. They talked with Jim Kirchner, who is live in Orion Township right now, where this happened. And Jim, it started with a bump?
Yeah, right here at the doorway behind me. I'm going to get to that in a second, but let me tell you that Jillian and Eric Wustenberg are both licensed to carry, and they had pistols holstered underneath their clothing when this happened last Wednesday. It started with a confrontation here in the doorway of the Chipotle. Jillian was walking out with bags of food for the family of 6. That's when she bumped into the family of Tequila Hills and a 15-year-old daughter. Seconds later, that family started recording with their cell phones.
So if she did something wrong, she needs to apologize. If she did
this ignorant woman bumped into a 15-year-old.
Correct.
And you're on camera.
I wasn't sure if my bag bumped this young woman who was very close to me.
The video runs 3 minutes. The heated exchange continues as the white woman walks to her van and her husband opens the door to get in.
Please put your
Do something.
hands up.
Do something.
Please.
Who the do you think you guys are?
Who do you
What think you are?
You called her name? She did nothing to you.
Yeah,
I didn't. I
didn't.
didn't. No, you didn't. You're very racist and ignorant.
Today's climate, you never know what's going to happen. That's the reason why we choose to carry our protection.
As the husband is backing out their van, the black mother walks to the back and hits it. She may not be the only one.
And they were trapped. They were trapped in their vehicle. And we had, there was more than just one person banging on that vehicle. And that will come out at trial.
The van stops. The wife and husband get out, both with guns drawn.
Within moments, a second or two, I had multiple people within 2 feet of me. And I remember thinking,
Bitch, please.
I'm not going home tonight.
Bitch, please. Bitch, please.
So you felt
You
like
busting
you had
out them
choice
Becky tears.
but to pull the gun?
Yeah.
Why are you video recording this incident? What's the purpose other than for, you know, folks to be where we are right now?
Now, the Wustenbergs have been licensed to carry for about a year. They both come from military and law enforcement families, having guns in those families for years. We got word this afternoon that the wife has now been fired from her job. Husband was fired last week. Coming up next hour at 6, how their attorneys say the Hill family needs to be charged, and we have reaction from that family next hour at 6. Live in Orion Township, Jim Kurtzner.
All right, my royal
right,
family.
thank you so much,
Let's
Jim.
get
See you
into
at
the
6.
next video. Yo, wait, hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold the hell up. Hold up. I'm running this. All right? All right. We're going to get into what I want to get into. Tell you to do all that. Now, let's get into video number 2. You see she pulled out them Becky tears?
Understanding
Or malicious intent.
First on 7, this video has millions of views seen around the world. Now the Metro Detroit woman at the center of it breaks her silence.
I remember, damn it. I'm not going.
The chaotic confrontation ending in felony charges.
The mother with the gun in her hand tells us why and how her family is still living in fear.
Plus, how the family that had that gun pointed at them is responding to the couple's defense.
The two sides have one thing in common, to be sure. Both say it was fear. Good evening. I'm Dave Llewellyn.
And I'm Carolyn Clifford. The couple charged in the case speaking out first on 7. The incident unfolded last week right outside an Orion Township Chipotle. Video of Jillian Wustenberg pointing a gun at a black family quickly went viral. But she says there's much more to the story you don't see.
Team coverage of both sides of this begins with 7 Action News reporter Jim Kurtzner. He talked to the couple, joins us live from where this all happened. Jim?
And Dave, there's a new development. Jillian was informed she's been fired from her job. Her husband, Eric, fired last week after this hit the news. They're facing up to 4 years in prison if convicted. It all started with a bump here at the doorway of the Chipotle. As Jillian was walking out with food for her family of 6, she bumped into, allegedly, a 15-year-old girl from the other family who says she was disrespected and started recording on her cell phone.
So if she did something wrong, she needs to apologize. If she did
This
something
ignorant woman bumped into a 15-year-old.
Speaking out for the first time after she's seen around the world.
There was no desire for escalation on our part. There was a desire to live.
The exchange escalates as they move to the van of the white couple. The husband gets out to help his wife get in, and that's where she says she tried to apologize.
No one's Why would you bump her?
I
Why
care
did you
about
say
you.
sorry?
I care
Why
about
did you say
you,
sorry?
and I'm sorry if you
Why
had
did you
an
say
incident
sorry?
that was made
If you
someone
bumped
made
into
you
her,
feel
why
like
did you
that.
say sorry?
No one is racist.
If you didn't,
I'm sorry if you had something like that.
Ignorant.
As the husband backs out to leave Tequila Hill, the mother goes to the back of the van and hits it. The attorneys for the Wustenbergs say there may be more than one who hit that van, but only one surveillance camera with a view is several buildings over, and the cell phone video shows Jillian chambering around in her gun as she gets out of the van.
So that meant business.
That meant I'm about to die, and I don't want to die.
The case was investigated by the Oakland County Sheriff that led to charges of felony assault on both Wustenbergs. Both are licensed to carry and pulled their guns.
Nothing is worth escalating it where someone gets hurt or killed. It's just not.
The attorneys on this side of the case say the Hill family also needs to be charged.
Anybody who watches this video can see plainly that ethnic intimidation is ongoing here.
They say life for this family will never be the same from now on.
I mean, imagine right now, you just can't even go out. Are they in hiding? Well, pretty much, because they've gotten death threats.
Those attorneys say they want the U.S. Attorney and the Michigan Attorney General to review this case. They also want to get the Wustenbergs in front of a jury and present evidence that several people were coming at Jillian when she armed herself with her gun. Live in Orion Township, Jim Kurtzner, 7 Action News.
Jim, thank you for the live report. Our Kim Russell joins us now with a reaction to Jim's story from the attorney representing the other family involved in this incident and dispute. Kim?
Yes, the attorney for the Hill family says that they believe the prosecutor has made the correct decision, charged the correct people with the correct crime.
Wants to violate a 15-year-old.
This is the beginning of the video that in part led to charges. You can hear a mother, Tequila Hill, and her 15-year-old daughter yelling at Jill Wustenberg who at that point is mostly silent. Jill says they blocked her from her car until her husband, Eric Woostenberg, stepped in. Attorney Christopher Quinn, who represents the mother and daughter, says his clients did no such thing.
She was able to get into the vehicle. They were able to drive off, and they didn't choose to drive off. They actually almost hit my client with their van and then jumped out like Bonnie and Clyde with guns pointed at them. And we're going to make sure that they understood that they were the ones in charge.
While Attorney Quinn says his clients perceived it as a show of power, the Woostenbergs say they feared for their lives. Quinn says in order for that to be a defense, it has to be reasonable.
I don't believe that the perceived threat, was realistic because one group of people were armed and the other was not.
Attorney Quinn says his clients remain traumatized at everything that happened and that they are victims in this situation. Reporting live, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
All right, Vic.
All right, my royal family. Now, we're going to go much deeper. All right? Can you believe that Karen bust out with them Becky tears?
There are a lot of facts that are missing, a lot of things that have only been seen from one side and not through our eyes.
What are those in your mind?
This was just an attack, pure and simple from the other side. We were berated. Our race was brought into it. We tried to leave multiple times. I didn't want to fight. I didn't want an argument. I just wanted to go home to my children, and I feed my children. This is not something that we wanted at all.
Did you bump the daughter? And tell me what transpired before the cell phones started recording.
Okay, yes. I went into the restaurant. I grabbed our food. We have a large family, so we had 2 large bags of food. And whether it's due to coronavirus or not, I noticed that there was only one door that was accessible to come in or out of that particular restaurant. And I opened the door, and I wasn't sure if my bag bumped this young woman who was very close to me, in very close proximity, or if I bumped the door, but it could have been either. Again, it took me just a little bit to realize that I had bumped into something or someone, and as I got back to the car, I turned and kind of took a peek to see, is someone looking at me like, hey, come on now, or did I just bump the door and nothing actually happened? I turned around and the young girl was looking at me, and she was clearly upset from the look on her face. She came out and started yelling at me, and I just held my left hand up and said, walk away, just walk away. And it escalated from there.
And how much time would you say elapsed from you, so they were coming in the door as you were going out, correct?
It was just the young woman
Right.
coming in the door, and I was coming out.
Okay, and so how much time elapsed? Was it a few seconds? Was it a minute? Was it a couple of minutes?
Maybe.
From that point to when we see the cell phone recording?
Maybe 40 seconds.
So not very long.
No,
Okay.
no, not at all.
Okay. During the exchange, walk me through what was running through your mind.
Which exchange?
Well, we see like 3 minutes and 10 seconds that's on video that starts at that point 40 seconds after the initial contact,
Why don't
and
we
by
have
the
her-
time they drive away.
Yeah, why don't we have her start at the initial before she can get in her car? Because there were actually 2 different points.
Okay. Well, I was kind of, that's fine. But just, so the generic question is, what was running through your mind during this heated exchange?
Fear, confusion. I didn't understand how it escalated to where it escalated, and I was afraid.
As it progressed, you moved to the van. We can see you got into the van, you rolled down the window, you said, in effect, you were sorry, or what was your intention at that point?
Just to hopefully ease the tension between the two of us. I don't want her thinking that I did something purposefully wrong to either the teenager or the mother. I'm a very outgoing and friendly person. I love people. I work with people all the time. I love to get to know people's stories and get to know who they are at the core of their being. And I didn't want this woman to leave thinking that I didn't like her for any reason. I just wanted to say, if something's happened, I'm truly sorry. But that's not me. That's not who I am.
She was calling you a racist. Her daughter was calling you ignorant. And that sort of, I guess, helped to cause this to erupt even more. As you look back at this now, well, let me ask you this. How many times have you watched this video?
A handful. It's really hard to watch. It's scary. The more I see it, the more I realize I'm more afraid of that situation now than I was then. I was terrified at that moment, and my terror is just exponentially greater since then, looking back, seeing how in danger I really was.
As your husband was trying to back out your minivan, she had walked to the back, she had hit it with her hand or something, and at that point, that's when you get out of the van, correct?
Correct.
Where was your gun at that point? Were you carrying it on you, or was it in the vehicle?
It was holstered on my person.
Okay. Because at one point early in the video, when you were looked like it was at the doorway of the restaurant, and it was just getting started on the cell phone video, you can see you put your hand right here. Was that where the gun was at that point?
It's near there. I'm very protective of myself. It was, I think, more of an unconscious thing to just kind of protect my body and try to be as close to myself as I possibly could. But yes, it's holstered near that area, correct.
Okay. And it was under your blouse or your shirt,
my shirt,
so
correct.
It was not visible to anybody?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. How long have you had a CPL?
Just under a year.
Okay. Have you pulled the gun at any other time?
Absolutely not.
Okay. What was the breaking point for you that you felt the need to pull it in this situation?
There were multiple people very rapidly and aggressively, it appeared, approaching me.
How many would you say when you say multiple?
That I can remember, 3 or 4, but as I'm told, there's a lot more that were there. Realizing
you felt like they were all coming at you, or describe that to me.
The mother very quickly was on me. The daughter was running from my left up to me, and within moments, a second or two, I had multiple people within 2 feet of me. And I remember thinking, I'm not going home tonight.
So you felt like you had no choice at that point but to pull the gun?
Yeah.
That was what was in your mind?
Yeah, just, I need to live. I need to survive.
You have how many kids?
I have 4.
They were not with you? It was just you and your husband in the vehicle?
They stayed home.
And as you look back at the video, you said you've watched it a handful of times. As you look at it, is there anything you would have done differently?
I would have stayed home and cooked. I would have never left my house.
Is there anything that you wish you had done that you, as you look back at it, you can look back at it with 20/20 hindsight?
I'm going to ask my client not to answer
answer that question. You know, that's, I don't want her to speculate about what she could have done differently. The facts are what the facts are as it relates to that.
Fair enough. I think I'm almost done. Have you owned guns prior to being licensed about a year ago?
Yes.
But you just didn't carry them out?
No, it's not legal to do that.
Right. How long have you owned guns?
Couple of years, maybe.
Okay. So you consider yourself fairly familiar with
Yeah,
a gun?
I grew up around lots of handguns, lots of rifles. They were just an everyday part of life. It was just something that was there.
The gun you had, it wasn't a revolver, it had a clip, correct?
A magazine, correct.
Yeah. So at one point you're seen chambering a bullet. So that meant business.
That meant I'm about to die, and I don't want to die.
Okay. Was there, I apologize for asking this, but was there anything else going on? You're not pregnant right now, right? Where you're...
We don't want to answer any questions about Jillian's state, whether or not she's pregnant.
Okay.
This is, I mean, it couldn't be anything more private.
That's fine. That's why I apologize in front of you.
No, that's
because women would say, hey, you know, look, if she's pregnant, her emotions are on overdrive anyway.
But we don't need to bring it
Okay.
out on,
Fair enough.
on the news channel or make any announcements. That's not the appropriate forum.
Fair enough, and I understand that, and I respect that. That's why I asked it the way I did. Like I said, I'm almost done here. You were being called ignorant and a racist. What are your responses to that now?
I have never seen myself as ignorant or racist. Like I said before, have a genuine love for every single person I meet. Everyone has a story. Everyone is important. And that really crushed me at the core of who I am, because I genuinely adore every person I meet.
What do you think in your mind could still be done with the people on the other side of this case? The mother, was it a mother and two daughters, or the mother and one daughter?
A mother and two daughters.
Okay.
I don't want anything to happen to anyone. There is so much hate in this world at this point in time. And I don't want a single person to feel what we're feeling right now. I truly want people to be blessed and happy. I don't want hate on anyone.
In this situation, I don't know if you watched what the sheriff said the other day when he did his news conference. And he seemed to articulate that this comes down to, and I kind of wrote down one of his comments, nothing is worth escalating this when somebody gets hurt or killed. It's just not. And he's essentially saying that's why you both were charged, because you took it to that next level by pulling the gun, chambering the bullet, and so on. You obviously disagree with that, or what's your response to that? Appears to be an articulation of why the authorities charged you.
We had no want to escalate anything. We wanted to go home. We wanted to leave in our car. We wanted the other family to be able to leave in their car. There was no desire for escalation on our part. There was a desire to live.
Anything I didn't ask you want to add?
I don't think so.
First of all, let's start with the obvious question. You're here to say what?
Tell our side. It's already been given out on one side, and there's two sides to the story.
And what do you want people to know?
Right from the get-go, we just wanted to go and feed our family. That's exactly what we set out to do that day. With coronavirus and us being locked down, we don't get much luxury, and that was just one of the few things that we could. And as Jill said earlier, she usually makes meals, and she would have made meals, and it was just a nice treat for us to be able to go out that night.
as this happened, you were in the van, you were in the vehicle. Kind of walk me through what you went through and how you responded.
Yeah, initially, because of Jillian's nature, she's very talkative, and I assumed that they were having a great conversation, perhaps about an outfit. She loves to point out outfits, and so I didn't know anything of it, that there was any kind of problem until I heard her, saying that she felt threatened and to call the police, and that's when I got out, because they obviously were not allowing her to get into the van. They were blocking her from being able to do so. So I got out at that point and went, and as I was walking around the van, and I was able to open up the door and for her to go inside.
Yeah. And that was when you came in contact with the mom, and she said some things to you like, I'm going to beat your so-and-so and so on.
Yeah, she threatened me. She said that she'd beat my white so-and-so too, as well. And I asked her, basically, why would you say that to me?
And then you got back in, you're trying to back out. She walks behind your van, she hits the backside, and then that's sort of when things erupted. Walk me through your perspective of that.
Yeah, as I'm rounding back to the vehicle, they were calling us racist and other names, and I turned to her and I said, "You're calling her mean things that makes us a racist. You're calling her mean names," actually, is what I said. And I just let it roll. And I walked back to the van, and Jill felt so compelled that she rolled down her window and said, "I'm sorry that things may have happened to you that make you feel that white people are racist, but we're not it." That's what she's trying to convey at that point. It was doing no well. It was just continuing. I could see it. And so I rolled up the window and I tried to make our way out. As you can see, we're at a curb, so I can only go one way. And as we're backing, the car locks up. Huge booms pounding on the vehicle. We can't go any further. I have to get out to see what's going on at the rear of the vehicle. As I'm coming around, I see my wife is surrounded.
Did you have a gun on you, or was it in the vehicle?
Yes, I carry as well.
So it was on your waist? You had it holstered?
I can still carry, yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So when you got out of the van, that's when you pulled the gun. That's not readily visible on the video.
Jim, we're not going to get into exactly when the firearm was pulled. That's going to be tried in court, presumably, and we'll address it at that point.
Okay.
But
there's no question he pulled his.
All right. So we'll leave it right there, my royal family. Let me put a little freeze on this. Now, let's go back. Let's see. Here. So, isn't it ironic when the enemy get caught at they shit, all of a sudden they the most docile people on the planet? And he wasn't, the reason why he was so nonchalant, because they had their guns. Now, Karen want to pull the Becky tears, and all of a sudden you want to escalate it, because y'all in this situation. Now, we know, my royal family, that this country don't give a damn about us. And they're going to look at everything possible to make sure we look as bad as possible. And they had the momentum on their side because both guns was on them. So what kind of fucking threat that you could be because you didn't like what was coming out of our mouth or anything like that? And one thing that I want to point out too, and I want y'all to keep this in mind, when people are heated, people may say anything. And when it comes to us, everybody expect us to execute everything in a correct fashion. And how I look at this is there is so much bullshit that we have had to deal with these people that it may be one of them days where it might be something minute, but you want to go there today. Fuck you and fuck everybody else. And trust and believe, them two fantasize pulling guns on black folks. Now, what could them black women possibly can do? Now, she sitting up here lying, talking about, a whole bunch of people and pulled, coming up, escalated. They got cameras everywhere. That man tried to run them folks over. And I know how that type of woman gets down. They'll bumping you and keep it moving. They'll keep it moving. Won't say nothing. All of a sudden they going to have black friends and family members and all that type of shit like that. Now they done lost both of their jobs. I keep saying, because we out of our captivity. Anything you think about doing to us, even think about doing to us, is going to fuck up your life. It may not even be fair. We may see shit where we are totally in the wrong. Because we have seen situations where they were totally in the wrong. And we got fucked dry. And it don't feel good when you're on the other side of this. And you want to pull out tears and you want to escalate. And we can speak the gospel truth like most of us usually do. They don't give a damn and they know we speaking truth. They can see what it is. So where I'm at with this stuff, I see it the way I want to see it. I make it the way I want to make it. Our folks can be 100% wrong. I don't give a damn no more. And I thought my mouth would never say that, because I was at one space and time in my life, I was trying to be fair, objective, and balanced. I ain't balanced no more. I can see the shit we just totally out of pocket. I play the game that the enemy play, because you done hurt too many of my people, and I feel some kind of way. So that's how I get down over here on the True Royal family and True Royal. And I know some people may say, well, True Royal, that ain't right. Well, it ain't right what they continue to do to us even as I speak. I simply don't care anymore. You can push a person that far, where it doesn't matter what you do when you're trying to operate from the righteous point. But we have to understand that these people have always dealt with us like we in a war. And we've been kumbayaing way too damn much. So let's execute this like a motherfucking war. So when y'all see me put a title or speak on something that we'll see that our folks might have been out of pocket, I don't see it. That's just how I'm going to get down. I ain't being fair or balanced no more. I'm going to always twist it back into our favor. Don't fuck with us. Don't think about us. Don't look at us. And you won't have no problems. When you see us, get 50 feet away from us, because you don't know what we own. You don't know what we've been through. Generations of bullshit. That's how I feel. I don't give a damn about Karen pulling the Becky tears. Deal with it. Deal with not having a motherfucking job. Deal with it. Your man don't have a job. Deal with unfairness. Deal with it. Just deal with it. Because we didn't have to deal with stuff where we didn't even do nothing wrong. And the ripple effects is felt through our family. And we had to deal with it, and we had to roll with the punches. And we were like, damn. Yeah, damn. That's how it is. Damn. Welcome to our world. And there will be more to come. So, my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. And I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.